Five, four, three. YouTube has been catching this almost every single time I go live, so who knows what number it is, what we started with. But it's me. Hi, everybody, it's Matt.
Everybody's cat.
And this,
Good
welcome.
evening.
Good evening. It's, let's try to do my best Ed McMahon here. It's late night tonight with your hosts, Matt, Cat, and of course, with them always, is the chat.
There you go.
Good evening. Hello. I don't know what time it is for you, but it's still relatively early for us here on the West Coast. It's only 7 p.m.
Yeah.
I thought it
It's a
was
little
funny to
after
call it.
7.
I thought it was funny to call it late night tonight for us.
Well, yeah, because well, actually, it kind of sounds ridiculous, but it is somewhat late night for me.
You know, you reach a certain cadence in your life. But hey, the studio audience is full already. It was a rousing round of applause. If there was a way for me to pipe them in the beginning of the show, I totally would. But Janet's here. Janet was the first one in the building. Cheryl is here. The Tomlin family in its entire. It's probably not in its entirely. Probably not.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Cheryl, I already said that, and Melissa. Melissa's here. Hello, Melissa.
Hey, Melissa.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome. I know the studio's cold, but that's just how we do it. Okay, every studio is cold. The lights are hot. The audience is cold.
It was cold.
Just deal with it. We had a couple of fun topics to cover tonight. We're going to chit-chat about life, Ma. We're going to talk about life surprises.
We are.
Move on from,
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I probably got a personal experience or two to share. And it's interesting because, as your son, I've been witness to a couple of life surprises of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them secret. Some of them never splashed upon us. But other ones, like, oh, surprise, you have a sister now. Something like that. And then, later, and then, of course, we're going to get into fun soap chatter, which I know is why everybody else is here. But in the meantime, I'm just going to talk to my mama about life changes. Surprises.
All right, man, let's talk about life changes.
Because I'm facing one. My life is totally different now than it was this time last Thursday.
It is.
This time last Thursday, I was wrapping my day up, getting ready to go to work again tomorrow. And today, that's not the case. So, there's that. Hey, so I don't know. Hey, it's a blessing in one side because I get to sit here comfortably at 7 o'clock on a Thursday and not worry about the ramifications that might splash upon the next day. I made a guest spot. I'm going to go hang out with Vinny on Suds in the Squared Circle tomorrow.
Oh, that's cool.
I've been writing a little bit more for soapoperanews.net. I wrote a Who Shot Harris article.
Oh.
James Lott Jr. and I discussed a little bit about the schedule for Love, Politics, Medicine. We're definitely going to have that out by the summer of 2024. That's the plan now. Big summer blockbuster drop for JLJ Media.
Awesome.
But beyond that, I don't know. It's so interesting because, this is a surprise to a degree. Was it one that I sort of saw coming, maybe written on the wall? Yeah, a little bit. That's probably why I'm not crushed.
Well, yeah, I think you had like you had an inkling that this could happen, but at the same time, you weren't like hold it. Like that happened to me before.
It was definitely
Knew
out of
that.
the blue. There was
I
no
knew
like.
that. I knew it was coming.
There was, I mean, based on the circumstances of what I was facing at the company I was working at, big merger. I was in a department that usually gets slashed
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to a merger like that because there's only so much work that could be handed around.
Mm-hmm.
And so, ultimately, it was just like, hey, this is likely coming. And I worked very hard on trying to get ahead of it, trying to position myself so it wouldn't happen, but ultimately ran out of time.
Yeah.
But, it wasn't, but also there was no announcement. There was no, hey, this is coming. There was no, be prepared because we might be making these choices down the line. It was very, very business as usual. I even had new responsibilities kind of given to me the day before my last day because even the people
Really?
who were working in the office with me didn't know it was coming. This was like a level or two above, one of those let's cut this line item situations. Hey,
Yeah.
Jacarius.
Yeah. 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 I mean, that's kind of too bad because I don't know if they to me if they would have reached out to your facility and your leadership in your facility, because I kind of believe, sometimes I think, maybe that guy's full of crap, but I believe him. Actually, I don't think he knew. I really don't.
No, I don't think so.
um So I don't understand why they didn't reach out to the leadership that's right there at that facility to, you know, I, I would think that they would have a little more education to make their decision to make sure it was the right one.
Ultimately, what they kept on, the HR representative, what they kept on saying was they kept on referring to the head count. The head count, head count just doesn't support it. And so it really didn't come down to any sort of skill or what someone might be offering long term or even in the day to day. It sincerely was, we don't have your position anymore,
Yeah,
and
and
other people
and
had the other positions. It was we can cut this person in favor of that person and shift them over, or we can just cut the one person and only affect that particular segment and not have some sort of ripple effect. I get it to a degree, and honestly, when it comes down to it, mother, I've never been released more comfortably.
well, yeah, I thank goodness they gave you a severance, right?
All right.
Yes, thank goodness they gave you a severance.
Yeah. Because
But
I mean, we've all faced this before. I'm sure people in the chat have faced this before. Cheryl says you look beautiful, by the way, today, mother. It's the hair. It's the
you,
curled hair.
yeah, it's not curled. This is my
Oh,
hair
it's your
hair.
natural hair, is what
This
it
is
is.
my natural hair.
It's you're not blown out hair. It looks so much more voluminous, mother. Why don't you use that? Why don't you do this more often? Like
Because
you
it
just.
has a tendency to get frizzy.
Oh, I see.
Loses its loses its curl definition.
So you just go for
It
the
doesn't.
Gladys instead.
I have to, I have to put uh curl definer in it and mess with it. And I don't know. It, it doesn't. It doesn't. After a while, it doesn't look good to me. It looks like a rat.
Fair enough, ma. Fair enough. I'm not here to say nothing about it. It does resemble a little bit more of what your hair looked like when I was younger.
Yeah.
It wasn't perm. It's not a perm, but it's still,
I
big.
don't know. It got weird. It got, I've always had a little body in my hair. That's why you have body in your hair, and that's why you don't like it. It bothers you sometimes. I know it does.
It just doesn't. It's unruly, is
Because
what it
it's
is.
unruly. I
It's
understand.
unruly.
So it seems like as I got older, my hair got curlier.
Hmm.
And
I definitely have waves and swoops in places that I didn't have before, so I understand. Melissa says in a year from now, me, Matthew, will realize that this is the moment my life began to align into what makes me happiest. Now is the time to go after your dreams like Drew goes after Nina's throat. No mercy. Hey,
well,
Jacarius.
of course, I agree with you 100%. I so want this to be, of course, it looks like a setback right now, but for it to look like, for an opportunity you didn't know that you could pursue.
Okay,
You know,
I'm gonna pump out a novel in 4 weeks, put it out on Amazon, and make all you people buy it for $5.99.
and you don't know what's going to happen.
Right. Some sort
Oh,
of just sappy love fest.
so yeah,
I'll do it live on YouTube. I'll just sit here and I'll write
but,
for an hour every day, and you guys can tell me what it is, and then I'll publish it and I'll make all the money and won't share it with any of you.
but I'm such a mama bear. I want to go down there and tell them how effing stupid they
Yeah,
are.
I understand, but hey, this isn't the first time I've faced something like this. I think that every single job, I mean, maybe not every one of them, some of them are on my own merit, or maybe me just being done with it. But it's not like I haven't faced this type of circumstance before. And like I said a moment ago, I've never been released more comfortably, and so that's really nice. The usual tension of being like, what, oh God, I need to find something. Let me go apply at Starbucks right now. It
Yeah,
isn't there.
yeah. Thank goodness you don't have a
Hey,
sense of
Stephanie.
panic. Of course, you need to. Of course, you know that you got to look on down the road and find other means. But
Yeah.
it's not such a panic. right?
Right, I don't feel a sense of panic. And so in the meantime, Super Chat is open, but also at the same time, I don't want your dollar bills. What I want is your subscription. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do so. Hit that button. Do it right now. In the long run, that's going to mean more to me than 2.99 of the chat right now. I guarantee you that. So let's push up those numbers, folks. Share the channel with your friends, people who like soaps, and also people who like to just listen to mom and son just chit chat about
Man,
whatever. Because, we'll do this more often since I got time.
YouTube needs to get to 1,000, you guys.
Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
That'd be super fun. That'd be super awesome. I mean, it's our next big milestone.
it is.
If I do that, then who knows? Who knows who might want to be on the show? So, it's an investment in your own entertainment, is what it is.
We need a guest.
Oh goodness. Cheryl says your channel's rocking. I love it. Honestly, Cheryl, thanks for saying that. I really like the late night tonight branding that I came up with.
Me
I
too.
sent you the little video. So
I like it.
if you're not following us on Twitter or Instagram, do so now. 10th floor GH10 TH floor GH. You can see the little teaser video that I put up for tonight's podcast. There's like late night music as if you're
Hmm.
watching some sort of like Tonight Show with Jay Leno type of
Very
deal.
cool.
Oh God, that's so old. What is wrong with me, Mom? I'm too young to say Jay Leno. I should be
At least you
saying,
didn't say David Letterman. He's been off even longer.
I should be saying Jimmy Fallon. What's wrong with me?
Oh yeah, Jimmy Fallon, or the other Jimmy too.
Jimmy Kimmel, but JLJ's good friend Jimmy Kimmel. Uh,
Yeah.
but also at the same time, the music is very like not current. It's pretty 90s, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta figure out a way to do a little intro here. Maybe I've got time to work on the setup now
Oh
too.
yeah, we have to do a setup, don't we?
So I can have some sort of like
Mhm.
I can get JLJ to be like, it's late night tonight with your host, like I did Matt and Cat. And then, I can put in the music and there'll be a whole intro and then we can fade in. I can pipe in like the audience applause, and then you and I can like do a monologue about politics.
Um, Matt,
Yeah.
guess what I'm going to go do on Saturday?
What are you
Okay.
going to do on
All
Saturday?
right. Let me say. Let me. Actually, I saw a TikTok about this today because it's kind of funny. So I'll do it to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What the song? What did Wilson Phillips have to hold on for?
One more day.
There you go. Guess who I'm going to go see on Saturday night?
Wilson Phillips?
Yes.
Yes. Hold on for one more day. I passed the test. I passed the test. I don't believe it. Wow, look at me. I remember the name Wilson Phillips.
Hold on for one more day.
Heck yeah.
It's going way.
That is
Hold
that
on for
what a
one
classic. So,
day.
when it comes down to it, that's one of those like childhood anthems, I think, for me.
Oh, sure. And if you ever seen the Bridesmaid movie,
Yeah.
you'll know that song because that's how it ends
Well, that's a
with
good movie
Wilson
too.
Phillips running up on, Wilson Phillips there singing it with him.
Oh, so hey,
We go
that's
see
awesome.
Wilson
You're
Phillips
gonna
on
do that
Saturday night.
this coming Saturday?
Yeah, this one.
Was that your
Day after
Valentine's Day
tomorrow.
gift?
Huh?
Was it your Valentine's Day gift?
Well, we didn't do anything for Valentine's Day yesterday, and we're not big old celebratory kind of people in that way anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We do a little something, but it's not a big deal. But we didn't do nothing yesterday. We didn't buy each other a card or nothing. Nothing, because we said, so we're gonna do it all on Saturday.
Okay.
And we don't care about that stuff, honestly.
I
What you
hear
gonna do
you.
with the car? I mean, you guys, this is not my boyfriend I met 3 years ago.
Your husband, you've been
No.
together for 40 years.
Yeah, I married him in 1980.
That's older than I am, you guys. They got married
Oh
several
my.
years before I was born.
Yeah. So we're going to go see Wilson Phillips, and Al Jardine is going to be with them. Al Jardine is one of the original Beach Boys.
Mm-hmm.
So, he don't have the other Beach Boys with him, but he's going to be doing Beach Boy
Okay,
too.
that's
Of
cool.
course. He's going to be doing
Well, that's
Beach
right
Boy
up your
too.
alley. Then you got
And
Wilson
then
Phillips.
Wilson
You got a little
Phillips.
Beach Boys sprinkled into that.
Oh, I got the Beach Boys and Wilson Phillips.
Yeah.
I like it.
All you need is Donny Osmond, and you just have a place where you can just, I don't
I
know,
might
just
turn into a puddle.
live your fangirl dreams.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do on Saturday, and then I think we're going to go out for like before we're going to do a little pregame.
Okay, nice, nice, nice. Melissa has tickets for Celtic Woman this month. This month, because she's a choir nerd. Celtic Woman,
Oh,
Danny boy, the
yeah.
pipes are
Do you know
calling.
I when I was a kid, I really wanted to do performing arts. I really did, but
Yeah.
I didn't have the nerve for it or the confidence for it. I wanted to do choir. I wanted to do dance. I wanted to do drama in school. I didn't do any of it. And my parents didn't put me in anything either, like they did, put me in dance as a younger kid or something. I didn't
Oh
get
gosh, you
any.
must have been thrilled to have such a theatrical child then.
Well, that's why I was a very encouraging
You sure were.
because I wanted to do it myself. And I was like, oh man, if I could, if this, if I could, if I could help, if I could facilitate him actually doing the things he has a passion about, I really understood it. I really did. So, so yeah, but I love all that choir stuff. I love all that performing arts stuff. And I wound up taking tap lessons when I was like 30 years
I
old.
remember you did it at the mall.
I did it at the community center.
The community center. Okay, well, I
Yeah,
remember you doing this, and then it wasn't like aerobics or jazzercise at the mall. But you did. I
that was
remember you.
jazzercise at the mall.
I do remember you doing tap dancing, though. I do remember this.
Yeah. So I did tap dancing when I was like 30. And then I joined the choir at church and I sang in the choir for 10 years, 12 years, something like that. A long
Hmm.
time.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So
The church choir. I remember that. You were living your choir dreams at that
I
point.
really
You were
was.
involved so much, and you really loved it. You absolutely loved it.
I did love it.
And the surprise from that in life was you living your dreams and making good friends. And there was nothing to move on from other than your retirement from doing that. But at that point, after 12 years, it's pretty easy because at that point you were like done more than just being like I'm in the choir. At that point, you were the face of the choir. At that people knew that you were choir lady. They expected you to bring the bagel that they wanted, and
Yeah,
if they
well,
didn't, they let you know.
I was the green room person.
The
I
green room
I did the
person.
scheduling for the green room, who's going to bring this, who's going to bring that. So, and people got and then people get kind of fussy about things, right? They get kind of fussy about things. But then they learned really fast. Don't approach Kat with anything that you don't want to volunteer to do yourself because she might spin it back on you.
uh, oh goodness gracious. Well, hey, let's see. Let's see what people say they miss Arsenio Hall. And that's pretty popular. So maybe the theme music and the neon reminds them of Arsenio.
You know, there was one particular, I tell you, this is one of the things that helped him win the election this year. Well, when Bill Clinton came on the Arsenio Hall show
And played
and
the
played
sax.
the sax, oh man, that did him a lot of good,
It sure
actually. It
did. It made him
really
look
did.
so cool.
It was
Look at
like,
this cool
wow,
guy.
look at
He's
this
not
cool
old.
guy.
He's got
And he doesn't
style and
sound like an idiot.
pizzazz. Let's vote for him.
Anyway, yeah, Arsenio. Oh, woo, 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 woo. Yeah.
Yeah, people like that. Cheryl is going to be setting up a fish tank this Saturday, so she's got that to look forward to. What kind of fish is it? Like a little like goldfish tank, or is it going to be like one of those big saltwater ones with clownfish? Let me know in the chat, Cheryl.
I
uh,
remember there was a house on the same court that when I met your dad, on the same court they lived in. There was a family a couple of doors down, and they had this fish tank that was flush with the wall
mm,
of their living room.
yeah.
And to like feed the fish and take care of the tank and stuff, you had to go out in the garage.
Oh
That
God.
where the access was,
Okay.
but it was flush with the wall inside the house.
Hmm.
It was pretty cool looking. It was big too.
Hmm.
I remember that.
I've always wanted a super awesome fish tank. I've just never had the persistence of attention to be able to do it. Yeah, these are
It
things
takes
that I've
work.
learned about myself through the surprises and moving on in my life. I've really learned what I can do and can't do effectively, uh, And paying attention long term to something is something that I cannot do effectively unless it's something that's able to get in your face like a dog.
Oh,
You know?
okay. So if you have something that's not going to cue you, you might let it starve to death. Is that what you're
I
saying?
don't know about. I mean, the water might get a little green, is what I'm saying. Uh, and then I'm not somebody that does a bunch of pre-research. I think we all know this about me running a podcast. Uh, I go into things pretty uninformed and try to just figure it out, and that's not fair for something that's alive.
No, it's not. You can't live your whole life through improv, man.
It's true. It's true. I can get through. I can muddle through this though. Melissa asks, "Remember when GH had the heavy saxophone intro? She loved it. Do you think Bill Clinton can play the
Yeah,
GH song?"
I sure do remember that. I
Do
hear it in my head right now. It was when,
do
yes,
do
and it was when you had the hospital and the gates there.
do do do
Yes. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
That
sax
was
isn't so.
actually a different one, Matt.
Oh, I don't know then.
Oh,
I don't know.
it's a really,
Saxes and
and
soaps
I
though,
should
they're
remember the
synonymous. They really
saxophonist
are.
too because he's pretty famous and he did the saxophone on that.
Well, and Jakarius says that he's beginning to lose hope.
About what?
He's beginning to lose hope that he's ever going to be able to meet Carson Boatman. But you know what, Jakarius? I'm here to tell you, don't lose hope, man. I wish I could be like, hey, walking
Right.
through your door right now. I wish I could do that. I can't.
I tell you what the best chance of you could ever have a meeting Carson is you got to get yourself a flight out here for Day of Days. You got to come out to
Yeah.
California for Day of Days.
Stand in his
But dude,
line.
that's a free event.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, that General Hospital nonsense is far from free.
Yes.
Far from free. Day of Days is free. Dude, you could actually meet him so easily.
Yeah, I
He was
understand.
there last time.
And really, when it comes down to it, I know that it might not be the most comfortable flight of all time, but Spirit Airlines is really, really inexpensive.
I
I
don't
mean,
recommend it. I did it once. Holy
it's
crap, dude. I could bicycle better than that. Oh my gosh.
just strap some wings to the
It
bike.
was terrible. Hey Matt, you know what?
All right, then the next cheapest option.
So I have to tell you real quick. So the other day we went to your sister's house, right?
Yeah.
Just your sister's house to pick up a little squirt. You know what she says to us when we get in here, get to the door? Get on in here, bro.
Get on in here, bro.
Yeah.
Shaking it with too many dudes. Just a bunch of gamer dudes with their dad is what it
What's
is.
this? He's 6. On a grandpa, bro.
Get on in here, bro. That's super funny. Next time, record it. Like, pull your camera out, knock on the door, and just record whatever happens.
It would be comedy for sure.
Jagarius is all the way in Mississippi, and I know Mississippi's pretty far away from everything. But hey, I mean,
I'm just saying.
perseverance, saving $20 a week goes a long way when it comes to being able to do something in a couple of years. I mean, ever's a strong word, is what I'm saying. Never give up hope. And who knows? Maybe something's going to happen over in like Florida, which is a lot closer.
And I have to say though, he was there last year.
Mm-hmm.
Carson was there.
He was.
We met him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. He looks good on TV. Oh, and he is so pretty in person.
Scared of heights.
I saw him we saw him quite a bit though, because we saw him at the Day of Days, and then we went the next day to the concert.
Yes.
That they did at the Bourbon Room.
Yeah.
And that was not free.
No, it was not.
It
Well,
was not
I mean,
free.
it wasn't free for you and me.
No.
It was free for our companion.
I know, right?
Sometimes disorganization works out in somebody's favor.
Carson, he's so handsome.
He really is.
And he can sing the heck out of some country music. Man, it's a great voice for country music.
He is a pretty talented singer. Jakarius says that he's also afraid of heights, and buddy, that's just something that with enough, just push yourself, be stronger than your fear. There's nothing more powerful than the human mind. You can do it. Take a train.
Jakarius, it would take you a little bit. You drive out here.
Drive out. You can even take a train. It would take a little bit, but hey, you'd be able to see the entire United States. And who do you know that could say that they have done the near coast to coast United States train trip? The
Where?
sites,
What state is he in? Tennessee?
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Mississippi.
Near coast to coast. It's not totally coast to coast, but Mississippi's like southeast, right? I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm
Yeah.
terrible with geography. You guys tell me. I'm okay with West Coast. I know it's California, and then Nevada's right next to us, and then above us
It's
is
no, it's all
Oregon.
right down there, Mississippi, Louisiana, right over there. Right
Idaho's
above
real
that.
close.
Tennessee, whatever. Oh, your
uh,
uncle drove from Tennessee here in 2 days.
hmm.
A
So he
little
was
less
booking
than
it.
2. He didn't stop. He's crazy.
Cheryl suggested I get multiple cats. I'm definitely much more of a dog person than a cat person. I don't like getting scratched. That's really what it comes down to. I don't want to get scratched, and a cat's gonna scratch me.
Well, a cat. I like cats. However, I have a slight allergy to cats, and they'll bother me for for a short time, and then I kind of like get over it. I don't know. It's just weird. It doesn't. After some time, it doesn't bother
You
me.
get
But
over it.
like if I'm around a cat every once in a while,
Hmm.
it'll make my eyes itch like crazy. But I
Yeah.
build some kind of tolerance if I'm around it a lot. What I don't like about cats is they'll tear up your furniture.
Yes, they will. They like to do. They need scratching
They like to
posts.
do that.
They love to do
The
that.
whole nine.
I remember. Oh yeah, the back corners of our couches used to be all torn up all the time.
Yes.
I remember.
And you can get a scratching post for them and stuff, but
They still want to do the
sometimes
couch.
they dig the couch so much.
No cats for me.
So
I don't have a couch for them to mess up anyway. I mean, not one that belongs to me. Mama cat is allergic to cats. Oh, the irony, says Melissa.
I know, right? It's like what I'm really, really, really allergic to that I can't, it just sends me off to the moon is a rabbit.
Okay.
I had
Okay.
to stop volunteering in my daughter's preschool because there was a class rabbit and I couldn't take it.
Got it. Got it.
Killing me.
Long-haired cats bother Cheryl, but not the short-haired kind. I guess it all comes down to dander, right? Just the type of dander that comes off of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Really?
I did have a cat though
Maybe
for
check it out,
17
Jakari.
years. I had a cat that we had him for 17 years. He had a very long life.
Yeah. Oh, sassy. That is a
Sassy.
very long. That's almost 20. 17 years. I remember because I really don't have many memories of like life before Sassy. Lots of memories of life after Sassy, but not before.
Well, if that's sassy, we got sassy before your brother was even born.
Well, there you go. Then that's why that was the pet that I grew up with. Winnie and
Yes.
Sassy. Winnie didn't last in Union City though. That one took he took off right away.
As soon as the door got cracked,
The
she was
very
gone.
first
She was
opportunity.
gone like lightning.
She
We never
wasn't
saw
a
her
nice
again.
cat anyway.
Oh, she was a bitch, wasn't she?
Yeah, yeah. Like, and clearly, she never saw the family as home because she took off right away,
She did.
right away. So,
Isn't it funny how animals have personalities and like some of them are turds and stuff? Okay, so Winnie was not a good cat.
mhm.
We loved him, but Amigo was not a good dog, and he was not a good friend either.
No, he sure
Bad
wasn't.
name for him.
Yeah, yeah. But well, I mean, the only buddy and amigo. It's just a good two dog name.
Great.
Um,
And there were Chihuahuas are perfect.
yeah, people are encouraging right now Jakarius to take a look at the Amtrak between Mississippi and wherever Carson Boatman might be, because I think he's going on tour with his band over on the
Oh
East Coast, so
gosh.
that might be easier to
The day
attend.
players. You might have a better chance of seeing them at the day players than you are coming out for Day of Days.
But if you check that out, which it won't be a free concert, but nothing is impossible, my friend. With enough work and determination. And when it comes to any sort of long-term Amtrak train ride, like I haven't done the overnight ones, but I've done the Inter-California one from Los Angeles to Modesto to go see Mama and the family for Christmas.
Mhm.
It's a fine little ride. It's comfortable. There is Wi-Fi. It's not the best Wi-Fi in the world, but it exists.
Mhm.
Download some stuff on your iPad. Keep yourself entertained or whatever.
Yep.
And then when it comes to the overnight stuff, it would be a private sleeping car, food, and all kinds of good stuff. So you should check it out.
Make sure that you bring a bunch of snacks, though, because the first time Matthew took the train, they gave him some snacks. There were snacks
They
in
did.
there. And then the last time you took the train, and you were really hungry too, and you were like, "Oh, I'll get a snack on the train," and there was zilch, nothing.
Yeah. So on the way up, it was before Christmas, and so funds were limited, and it was the end of the
Mhm.
pay period and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be hungry on the train. Because the previous Christmas they're like, here's a free box of food for Christmas.
Mhm.
They didn't do that this time, but that's all right. But on the way back, I had the Christmas card money.
Yep.
I was set. Okay, all right. That's enough about real life, Ma. You want to get into some soap chatter? I'm sure that's why people are here. They don't
Sure.
care about us.
Well, they better care about me. I care about them.
Oh, good. You're about half an hour into this sucker. Yeah. Let's make it. Let's do it. Let's get into the transition. Let's talk about
Okay,
two.
let's talk about something.
Let's talk about two of our favorite crazy characters in soap history, Ma. One of them from All My Children, and the other one from right here on General Hospital.
And the same actress did play them.
And the same actress. There was a little crossover time, where the same actress did play them for a little while. Melissa says we care. It's true, and people are sending little hearts too. And thanks, you guys. I was just kidding. I know you care. That's why you're here. That or you're super bored. One or the other. But whatever your reason, I'm happy you're here. Hit that like button if you haven't done so. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. If it's your first time here, say hello in the chat. We'll give you a little shout out because that's what we love to do here live on YouTube.
We do like to do that. That's fun.
It is. It is. I really like to see new names pop up. So if you're
Mhm.
new, say hi.
Say hi.
Say hi. Anyway,
And if you're not new, say hi anyway.
say hi anyway. Might as well. You're here. It's just us. We're just chilling.
Is that
Late night. It's tonight. Let's do it.
all right? Let's talk about crazy chicks.
It's crazy ladies. We got 4 crazy ladies in total to discuss here tonight before the show's over. But first and foremost, we're going to talk about the one that I think existed before the rest, and that would be Janet from Another Planet. Janet Dillon from All My
Janet Green.
Children. Janet Green.
Janet Green Dillon.
Janet Green Dillon from All My Children. Janet from Another Planet. So a character who is near and dear to my heart, connected to the first soap story that I remember.
It is.
She was the one that threw Natalie in that well, all right?
She was. And not only did she throw her in the well, she kept her a prisoner in there.
She did.
And she used a bucket. And she used a bucket and lowered her like some water and snacks and everything.
Water, here's some
The only thing that Janet didn't do was say, put the lotion on.
I'm gonna put your skin on, Janet. Or Natalie. I'm gonna put your skin on. Sandy says your hair looks cute, so that's another compliment here for your late night tonight hairdo.
Thank you.
Janet was just misunderstood, says Melissa, and you're totally right. She wasn't a Looney Tune at all. She was just wildly misunderstood.
She was. She was wildly entertaining. I tell you one thing.
Sandy named her son Trevor because of All My Children. Of course, we know Trevor was the one that was thrown in the freezer.
Trevor's Uncle Porkchop.
Uncle Porkchop. So that's probably the second Janet storyline that sticks out in my mind. First, she replaced Natalie. Then she had facial reconstructive surgery, and then became the actress we all know and love.
Is Robin Matson.
Yes. And then she killed Trevor, right? That's his name, right? Trevor?
Well,
Trevor?
yeah, she killed Trevor, which was, Trevor and her wound up getting married.
She bashed him over the head and threw him in the freezer, Mother.
He was married to Natalie. And all that stuff. And it was back and forth. And then they had Amanda together.
Yes, Amanda.
Trevor and Janet had Amanda together.
Yes, and Janet also had a bomb.
Oh my gosh.
Bomb and Amanda at the same time. She's like, I'm getting you out of here because I'm blowing stuff up, Amanda. She was nuts. She was out of her gourd, Mother.
She was totally cuckoo.
Just cuckoo
and
for Cocoa Puffs.
she did put Trevor in the freezer. She killed him and let Amanda find him.
I know. My
It was
God.
terrible.
Trevor's a great name, though. Trevor was a solid character on All My Children. He was, it was one of those ones where
Trevor
like,
is a
not
good
that
name. I like
guy.
the name Trevor.
Oh man, you looked forward to him. I remember there was this really awesome Christmas where it was the Dillon family and Natalie was a ghost looking through the window and just everybody was just
Yes.
super happy. I remember the good times with Uncle Pork
Yes.
Chop.
And another Christmas, Natalie was looking at the angel and got her sight back.
Yes, of course, but that wasn't Janet. That was Janet's sister Natalie.
It's true. That wasn't Jen. That
Sandy,
was
do you call
Natalie.
your kid Pork Chop? Because I would. I would totally call him Pork Chop. Call him Pork Chop his whole life. Even if he screamed at me when he was 12, stop calling me that. It's embarrassing. I'd be like, Pork Chop, go to your room and don't scream at me. You talk to me with respect, Pork Chop. I
Mm-hmm.
would. I would. Ava did the same thing to Nicholas. It's not that nuts. Are you talking about bashing somebody over the head and throwing them into a freezer? Because I don't remember Nicholas going into a freezer.
Well, somebody hit Peter in the head and put him in the freezer.
Peter fell downstairs and went into a freezer.
That's true.
All of it is slightly different from the original Janet crime, which is blunt force trauma and a freezer.
Mm-hmm.
But he just super fun. It's super well. Okay, so those stories aren't fun, but by the time all my children was over, she was just fun.
So, yeah, so Matt, I'm sure you know. I'm sure you know this. What prominent family member of the Santoses is going to be Blaze's mom next week?
Could it be CSI Miami star Ava LaRue?
Yes. I think it's perfect. That's perfect casting right there, I
That's
think.
pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to that for sure. When it comes down to it, that's a daytime veteran and a half that you've
It
cast.
sure is.
That's not like Kim Delaney. Kim Delaney was like the big return to daytime after she'd been in primetime forever.
Yeah.
Ava LaRue, I mean, she was Maria. I understand that she was on CSI Miami, but that was 20 years ago, people.
Uh-huh.
Um, this
She
this
was on
is
Young and the Restless too a couple years ago.
well, there you go. This is a soap superstar coming over to General
Yes.
Hospital. It's the caliber of like Allie Mills coming by. It's like when they got Roger Howarth to come through.
Mhm.
This is a big deal, which means that Blaze's family might wind up being a much bigger deal coming soon.
Well, she said today. Did you watch today's
Not
episode?
yet.
Okay, she said today that her mom was coming next week, and she
Wow.
would, and she told Christina that she was gonna come out to her mom.
Ooh, well. Let's see
Yeah,
what happens there, huh?
see what happens.
Very
So
exciting.
Eva LaRue's supposed to show up next week, I guess.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's cool. And I didn't see that she was signed to a contract or anything, so it could be 3 or 4 episodes and that's it. But it's
You
it's
know,
it's
it's
neat.
it's the same. It's the same thing all the time with Frank, right? You're going to give you 5 episodes and see
Let's see
how
how it
sticky
goes.
he thinks you are.
Yeah, yeah,
Fine. Is this going to stick around, or is this what?
yeah. And we'll see what happens. Plus, the writers are changing here any day now. We're gonna run out of Chris and Dan material and start going into the Molcorti era, or the Molcorte era. I think is what they've called it online.
Mm-hmm.
Mulcorte, because the guy's name is Mulcahy. I think his last name is Patrick Mulcahy, and Elizabeth Corte are going to be the head writers for General Hospital, or are the head writers for GH now.
Yeah.
So Mulcorte rather than
Mm-hmm.
CND. I don't know, whatever. People always come up with some sort of weird shorthand for stuff.
They do. Make it a smash name of some kind.
Always, we're never going to say,
Always.
we're not just going to say Patrick Mulcahy and Elizabeth Corte. That's too many letters. It's too many letters to type.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
goodness.
that's yeah. So that's coming up pretty soon on General Hospital.
That's coming up pretty soon at General Hospital. I'm sure we're going to see our second of 4 Looney Tunes that we want to talk about here tonight back on GH here anytime now. We just saw her last week boo-hooing over the grave of Esme.
You think? Well, I would think so. I think Heather. I said this before. Heather has been making far too much sense lately. She's been the
become
voice
that
of
wise,
reason even a
crazy
couple of
person, right?
times. She even been the voice of reason a couple of times.
What if this is what if they're trying to line up like Cyrus and Heather or something, because Heather's starting to make a lot of sense and they're going to be the wise crazies together.
I would love to watch that.
When Ava LaRue was announced, asks Otherworldly, hello Otherworldly, glad to have you live here on the 10th
Hello.
floor for late night tonight. When Ava LaRue was announced, why did people immediately ask who she'd be paired with? Is she a sultry character? Well, we don't know the character that she's going to play, but Ava LaRue, like I said, she's a daytime veteran, and when it comes down to it, if you're a daytime veteran, it's because you know how to play that romance.
Hmm. And she's stunningly
She
beautiful.
had an epic romance. It was All My Children is what I remember her from the most. Playing Maria
Sure.
Santos, and
And
she and
Edmund.
Edmund Gray and Maria Santos could not be apart from each other.
Oh yeah.
They
And they had a
desperately
couple of
loved one
kiddos.
another.
A couple of kiddos too.
They had, yeah, a couple of kids, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, when it comes down to it, she had a very long-term popular romance in All My Children, so it's natural, who might she be paired with on GH? I think is a natural question that people would ask, especially when it comes to a soap opera where you live and die by the romances you have in the stories, folks.
Not for the most part, right?
Well,
I don't know who. I don't know.
it really depends on what their plans are with the character. If it's just to come in to have a reaction to Blaze coming out and nothing more than that, then it could just be
Yeah,
nothing
I
more
would
than
have.
that.
I would think that they're going to test the waters more than they're going to write for her right now. Even though she's
I
a
agree.
soap veteran, they have to have some. I just can't imagine them having a big scheme other than what they're writing
Yeah.
as her
Plus, on
entry.
top of that, too, anything long term that hasn't been filmed yet is ripe to be thrown out the window. So who knows? Who knows? It could be a time for massive change on General Hospital very quickly.
Could
But we
happen.
could get into the details of that on Sunday
Yeah.
for our regular GH podcast that you can find 11 a.m. Pacific time right here on this channel. If you don't do so already, you can do that. Join us then.
And also be back at 9 o'clock on Sunday too for
Yeah,
day or
and I
two.
won't be by myself.
No,
I'll
I'll
have
be on
somebody
there.
with me.
And hopefully Angela would be there too.
Hopefully, yeah, it's great to have the teacher. She really helps us set things straight. I feel like I don't know if I'm going to need much history lessons on this week from days because it's been pretty like current events.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was a nice wedding though. I know
I liked it
people were
actually.
critical because they're so poor they had to get married in the hospital. Like the show was so poor they can't afford like a
Yeah,
set for them to get married on.
yeah.
And I'm like, who cares? Those vows are beautiful.
No, it went with storyline. It was perfect.
It was fine. It was fine. We'll get into that this Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific time on Days for Dummies.
There you go.
Especially good for people who aren't Big Days of Our Lives fans because we're brand new, so we can introduce you to all the wacky world of Salem. So do
But
that.
we're learning more and more, Matt. I don't feel so lost watching it anymore.
I'm so slow to catching up, right?
Hmm.
Hey, Blink FM. Who killed Diana Taylor? I don't know who Diana Taylor is. I couldn't tell you.
Anna Taylor.
I don't know. That sounds like some sort of like Dynasty character or something. It's like
No,
who
I
shot
don't know.
JR? I don't know who Diana Taylor
I
is.
don't
Is that
remember who
Young and the
Diana
Restless?
Taylor is. I don't
Help us
know.
out, Blink. Who's that? Nicholas will end up in Pittenville, probably hanging out right next to Heather. Is Heather in Ferncliff, Pittenville? Is she back in Darkham? Do we know?
She was in Pentonville last time they showed her. She was in
Yeah,
Pentonville.
because she's in the Pittenville visiting area,
Yeah,
also known as the Grey's Anatomy break room.
yeah. And they let her out to go. I know. Is it? And if the only reason why we know that is we recognize it because of the tour.
Yeah.
That's the break room, you guys. That's the commissary area.
So Grace just can't
Grey's
have their
Anatomy.
sandwiches while GH is filming Pittenville scenes.
Yeah, it is. It's the
No,
commissary
I'm sure
common
they schedule it
area.
for when Grace isn't filming.
It actually that room kind of looks like in a way it kind of looks like a big screened-in porch in a way, doesn't
Yeah,
it, Matt?
yeah. It is. It's like half outdoors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
it's interesting. It's interesting. Glasses got switched. You got the LSD one. Blink 1981. Diana Taylor. Is that somebody that Heather went after? Is that Diana? Did she LSD Diana Taylor too? Because I know she did Olivia
Oh, she
Falconieri.
did LSD some people. One of them was Olivia.
Heather's in Pittenville waiting to attack Nicholas. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens there. They love to let people out of prison because they've been attacked. So maybe that'll shorten
Wonder
Nicholas's
how
time.
long. Yeah. Wonder how long they're gonna leave her.
Diana. Okay, so Diana's an old GH character that we just don't remember. She adopted Stephen Lars.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. And she wanted him and Jeff Weber.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Jeff
I don't remember that.
Weber.
It's too many years of GH to remember all of it.
Cheryl says I thought Heather was in Ferncliff. No, because Ferncliff is like is the less crazy loony
They
than
had to take her out of Ferncliff because she doesn't stay there
yeah. So she was
at
at
all.
Ferncliff because she had convinced them to let her there, hang out there, and then like, oh, I understand Ryan, so you have to let me stay, and then they shipped her back to Darkham. I think is or to Pittenville. Listen, there's too many
She's been at
places.
all of them.
There's too many places on the show to send the criminals, is what it's boiling down to. We don't know where any of them actually are.
They have had her everywhere.
She's been in all of the prison sets. We can say that.
Yeah, she has. She's
Blink has an encyclopedic memory of Heather Weber, all right, because now they're talking about Heather sneaking out of Ferncliff in the '80s dressed like a nurse. This is a master of escape, let me tell you. If anybody can get out of the walls, it's Heather Weber.
she's done a lot.
It's because they don't serve good BLTs where she's at, is what it comes down
No,
to.
and if she can't figure out how to get away on her, she's very good at manipulating guards too.
She is.
She is
She is. She is. She is.
really
With her
good.
feminine wiles or with her
Mhm.
whatever it is that she wants to offer.
Whatever, whatever she could,
Just some sort of
whatever ammo,
wackadoodle logic
whatever ammo would work on that particular guard.
is what it is.
She can analyze people pretty well and figure them out. She is nutty though.
Liz told the police that Nicholas had committed a crime. Drew was going to be so upset with her. He doesn't like that. Melissa just loves to hate Drew. That's for sure. Any excuse to bring up Drew is pretty much Melissa's MO now.
Well, I like this Drew better.
He certainly is more interesting, isn't he? No, I got some
Yes, he
GH
is.
to catch up with. So I've been watching Days of Our Lives intently this week. I've been watching it with detail and focus, and I plan to do that with GH over the next couple of days as well.
Well, yeah. Have you been well? I don't know how early you've been getting up, but you've been watching days early in your day.
Yeah, I try to. I've had episodes to get through. So I did 2 yesterday and 2 today,
Mm.
and so I guess that leaves 1 tomorrow, which would be
I
fun.
usually watch it in the morning. I watch it kind of early. Once in a while, I'll skip it. It depends on what I'm going to do. Maybe tomorrow because I got some things going on in the morning.
You making Grandma Lou watch it with you?
No, Grandma Lou doesn't watch days with me. I watch it by myself. Typically in bed still.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. It's a good way just to welcome to the day. This is the ridiculous dumb world of Salem. Here
Yes.
is just buckets of just sappy romance
Oh,
between old Patchy and Kayla.
yeah. I love Sander. Sander always, he always entertains me talking with Sarah.
Sarah, I didn't do it, Sarah. I promise. I don't know what it is. They got me. All right, Ma. This is we've been chit chatting, we jabbing around for too long. You know what the real main event of late night tonight really is?
What is it?
We gotta find out who's crazier. Is it Nell Benson or Esme Prince? We're gonna compare them side by side, folks. We're gonna award points, and we are not going to leave today without letting you know definitively who was more nuts. Definitively. Who
Okay.
is more nuts? All right, so let me do some production here, Ma. You can't
Mm-hmm.
see this, but the people watching live are going to right now. I am transitioning this to that. All right,
Mm-hmm.
we are on a brand new screen, Ma. I look
Oh,
I look forward to you watching the replay on
okay.
YouTube
Mm-hmm.
because let's do that. Boom! Look at that. Now we're floating in outer space, floating over the skyline of this random city. Okay, below us on the left we've got Esme. On the
Okay.
right we have Nell, and in
Mm-hmm.
between them is empty space that's going to be filled with little boxes of who wins the points of the categories, the 5
Okay.
categories that we have lined out. I have full production value going here for this contest, Esme versus Nell. All right, but it's not going to be just us. We need the help of the people watching live right now. We need Cheryl. We need Blink. We need Melissa. We need Jacarius if he's still here. Anybody that wants to participate, I need your help. Let your opinions be known.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's 5 categories. You ready for the first one?
Yeah.
All right. First category is parents, genetic disposition. What are you leading into this with already? Okay, Ma.
That's an easy one, though.
Do you think that's an easy one?
I think
Let's
so.
dig into it. Let's dig into it. All right.
Okay.
All right. On one side, Esme, of course. Her
Mm-hmm.
parents, Ryan Chamberlain and Heather Weber. Which I know what you mean. What you said a moment ago. That's easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. Because on the other side, you got Silas Clay and Nina Reeves. You got a lot of people that would argue that
It's
Nina
true.
is totally out of her gourd.
It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. I guess when I thought of her parentage, those are not the two first names that popped in my brain.
Ooh, who did you think of when it came to Nell?
Yeah.
Who'd you think of?
Frank Benson and French Virginia.
Oh, Frank and
That's who
Virginia.
raised her.
That's who raised her, but that's not who provided her
No,
DNA.
that is not
Now,
who.
Frank is also like Frank and Virginia. They are not strong examples of mental fortitude.
No, Frank wasn't crazy. He's just an old bastard.
So, I mean that I mean, he was criminally insane to a degree. You know, who knows where he could have gone with things had he been
He's
pressed in
pretty
particular
crazy. He
ways.
did sell Nell's
You
kidney.
you gotta be crazy to sell children, don't you?
You would think so.
You know, there has to be
Pretty
something wrong with you at the very least.
different.
Something certifiable, something that has a name.
Mhm.
So,
That's true.
so when it comes down to it, you know, so you've got the genetic predisposition of Heather and Ryan over on the
Mhm.
side of Esme, but she had
Mhm.
an okay upbringing. She didn't have a Frank and Virginia upbringing. She had a nicer one. She had a nanny. Maybe she wasn't paid attention to the way she wanted to, but it was really the letters from Ryan that really sent her down the path of no return.
It's true.
Nell, on the other hand, was raised in a terrible environment, received no positive examples, and was really raised more by Frank than Virginia because Virginia was out of there with Carly.
You know what I watched today? I
Hmm.
watched the scene of Carly going to Frank's house and asking for money.
Wasn't it? Was it Eden McCoy who was playing her?
Eden McCoy was
Yeah,
playing Carly.
right. And then
And
Valentine. Was I Valentine who played Frank?
yes, yes,
I remember it. I remember it.
yes. And Carly was saying she had never met Nell before.
Yeah, and
And
then
then
they
she
had little
reminded
little
her,
baby Nell
yeah,
on the
little
outside.
6-year-old Nell that you walked out on. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we've had the debate now, Ma, but we have to decide. We have to decide when it comes to parentage. However it is we want to describe it, one has to win out over the other. And I got to be
Well,
honest with you, Ma. I don't think there's any way to beat out the DNA provided by Heather and Ryan.
I don't think there is either. I mean, that is just oh boy, that's a stew, isn't it?
It is. And that is okay. So we're gonna say it official. All right. So let's see what the chat might have to say. Let's see if the chat can sway us here in the last moment. Because right now this point is going to Esme. Nell is crazier. Okay. All right. That doesn't really help specifically. Silas ebbs the tide because Willow is precious, says Melissa. Okay. He could be the base that saved Nell from all of this. Ryan and Heather, says Cheryl, are bat shite cray cray. She even
Yes,
spelled it shite.
I love it.
Esme plans things out. Nell, on the other hand, was a different kind of psycho.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
All
I
right.
think I even though maybe we haven't seen all that we're ever going to see of I don't if either one of them really. Nell could even come to back too.
I know, right? Dead is never
But
dead on the soap.
Esme, I think. Well, we're not even talking about being
We'll save
dangerous.
that
We're
for the
talking
last
about
category, because
heritage.
yeah,
So
because the last category is death, so we can save that for the end.
okay.
All right. Category number one, when it comes to parents, Esme wins. Esme wins
But what
out
does the chat
as
say?
losing the lottery on that. You know, okay, so I know it's a little confusing, but winning a category means that you're really bad. Like, so Esme. Esme
Esme.
gets the point. It's official. There is now a little pink square next to Esme representing the 1 point. 1 point out of the 5 that she
Hmm.
has earned in this. Category 2, motherhood. All right, something that these two characters shared is the fact that they had babies on
Okay.
the show with other characters that we know and potentially maybe love. The jury's out. There are plenty of people that don't love Spencer, plenty of people that don't love Michael, plenty of people that love Michael, plenty of people love Spencer. It's a personal choice at this point.
Hmm.
But both of these ladies had babies on the show.
Hmm.
And who was crazier about it?
Who is crazier
Who was
about it?
crazier about it? Who was crazier during it? Who was more dangerous to their babies in the long run? Because that was the big debate there at the end. You know, we got to take Ace away from Esme because she's so dangerous to him. Is that the fact, or was Nell, in fact,
It's
more
Nell.
dangerous?
It's Nell 100%.
I agree with you on that one too. All right, so on the Esme side, let's break it down for people. All right, let's break it down for people. Esme got pregnant. She did throw herself off of a parapet
Hmm.
while pregnant. That's a
Hmm.
pretty dangerous act when it came to the baby.
Do you know what Nell did though?
What did
Do you
Nell
remember
do?
this? You weren't watching at the time. Maybe I don't think you were watching. So there was at the top of the stairs at the Quartermains,
Mm-hmm.
there's Nell and Carly,
I did see
and they're
this.
fighting over Morgan's baby
I
blanket.
did see this. Yes, it was when she was taunting
Right?
Carly with the big ghost of Morgan, with his
Right.
cologne and with some special effects with the
Yes.
baby blanket.
Yes. And then they're at the top of the stairs, and Nell, Carly doesn't push her down the stairs. They're fighting with the blanket, and Nell let the damn blanket go.
I think that might, yes, I do remember this. I think that's an important distinction because here's the difference. Nell threw herself downstairs to get to Carly, or to get at Carly, to punish Carly, to make it look like Carly
And
did
she's
something
pregnant.
while pregnant. Esme leapt off the parapet to try to free herself from captivity. So when it comes down to it, when it comes to putting the baby in pregnant danger, I think Nell wins the crazy scale on that one.
Because I think because Nell was not didn't have any regard for the baby at all.
No,
Really?
no.
Where at the time Esme was desperate to escape.
Desperate to escape, yes. Now,
Hmm.
also, they had the babies. They had the babies on the show. And what
Hmm.
happened? Esme spent a lot of time trying to protect and be with Ace, while Nell
Was.
immediately gave Wiley away.
Oh yeah, she's
Like, not even 5 minutes
gosh.
after giving birth to this baby, it was in the hands of Brad.
Yeah. And then walked to the hospital with dead
With
baby.
Jonah. Or,
Yeah.
Wiley was Jonah, Jonah was Wiley, but now I guess it's swapped for the sake of being able to tell these two kids apart. Uh, but yeah, so
And then
went to the,
antagonized Michael with the dead body
and
of
then
the
was like, look at this baby that you killed.
Oh
Because they
my
were in the car
gosh.
accident. They were fighting. I guess he had filmed her, right? He had planted a camera to film her and record her confessing to stuff. And he had played that,
Yes.
and he's like, I'm doing it. And then she freaked out. She pretended to have labor pains or something. He gets in the car
Mhm.
accident. She leaves him there to blow up.
She did. She left him there to burn up. She did.
Burn up and blow up in the car because you couldn't get the
Huh?
seatbelt off. And she's like,
Uh-huh.
tough cookie. Left, went into
Toodles.
labor. Liesl Obrecht was in the other car that was in the accident, ran out, delivered the baby, skipped
Yep.
town.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
man, what a blast from the past, folks. Really, I mean, I think this one is more obvious than the parents one. Nell wins the crazy scale when
Yeah.
it comes to
Those
being a
one
bad
and one,
mommy.
aren't they? They one and
Didn't
one.
she have the car rigged? Yes, she did have the car rigged. It was like a certain amount of miles traveled before the brakes went out, and so she's like, "Let me out, let me out." Why?
Yeah.
Why? Why?
88
Because he
miles per
knew.
hour for the gigawatts and all that.
Yeah, right. They're gonna wind up in 1955. Oh goodness. Okay, so Nell. All right, so Nell gets the point for bad mommy.
Mhm.
Boom. Now there's a little yellow square next to Nell. I can't wait for you to see him. I'm so proud. Nell is sheer evil. Esme gets vindictive and plans things out, says Cheryl. We're going to see where the points lie here because we got 3 more categories to cover. And the next one here is their attempts at murder.
Their attempts at murder.
Both of them attempted murder. Both of them failed.
Mm-hmm.
Esme drugging Oz Haggerty to prevent him from testifying in Trina's trial, versus
Mm-hmm.
Nell slashing the throat of BLQ while running off with Wiley.
Yeah.
The nurse's ball. Now, for me, I already have a winner in my mind and heart on this one. Because when it comes down to it, giving somebody a couple of extra pills versus slashing another person's throat, head and shoulders above the rest.
Yeah.
But then also at the same time, it's so sly. So BLQ was there being like, don't take this baby. Oh no, my throat. Oz
Mm-hmm.
had no idea what was going to happen to him.
No, he thought he was going to get busy.
Yeah. So, like, really, when it boils down, one was far more gory, violent than the other one, but
And one
Esme's took
and
far
one
more
was a,
planning.
and one and it shouldn't matter, but one was a character we were cheering for, and one is dirtbag.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it sort of doesn't matter. I mean, ultimately, he got hooked. So, Heather won the day on that. But
Woo!
we got to boil it down. We got to break it down. Okay, these are the two attempted murders that I remember. If Nell committed other ones, if Esme committed other ones, I don't recall. Um, I'm going to say that they didn't. I don't think she tried. I mean, unless you call it the Michael thing. But then she was in the car too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. You could
Mm-hmm.
well, you can say that Esme tried to kill Trina. Boom. Because she did there at the end. She was trying to steal the boat and like
Yeah, she
ultimately
was.
was gonna be like, you
Yeah.
just suffocate down here, Trina. We're gonna forget about you. Oh gosh, see this one might actually be a little harder. This one might actually be a little harder because Esme's all of Esme's required thinking, and that's something the chat was saying. She was more
Mm-hmm.
methodical. She thought things out a little bit more. Nell was bouncing off the walls, marrying Julian, trying to get the baby, slashing BLQ's throat,
Yeah.
kidnapping kids, falling off of cliffs. Like just all over the place. You know.
Yeah,
Nell killed her fiance. That's something to remember as well. She did have a
that's true.
successful murder
But
there.
it was off camera.
It was off camera, but it also required thinking because she set up that boat to explode, I think. Or it
Yes.
set up a boat to fail, so he drowned. Some sort of
Yeah. I think
ocean
she gets
accident.
money, right?
Hmm?
She gets some money.
Get money, yeah. So she married, get money, and then I guess they were worried that's what her plan was with Michael, but it was far deeper than that because of her connections to Carly. She pulled the drain plug, that crazy loon. Yes. And that's how we met Chase, yes, because Chase came down to hunt down Nell, or at least join the
Yeah,
force and
and he
recognize
always
her.
called her Janelle,
Yes,
remember?
her full name, because they used to date. Nell
Mhm.
killed her ex-fiance and had Chase get her off. Nell wins until I know of Esme iced her adopted parents, and that's true. For me, no, no, no I really can't get over the slashing of the throat of BLQ.
Oh.
That
The only thing that would make it worse is, like you said, if we find out that Esme did actually kill her parents,
wouldn't that be something?
her adopted parents. She actually, because I wondered that she not kill them,
I
but
guess
that
time will
hasn't been
tell.
proven.
That hasn't been proven right now. I guess it's Schrodinger's murder, where it happened also and it didn't at the same time until the audience is exposed to the truth. But I would say that as long as Esme's dead, we're not gonna figure anything out new
But
about that.
the slashing of Brooklyn was quite brutal.
Yes, yes, it was, and I really think that that one's out. She was trying to run off with the kid, not because she wanted to raise him because she loved him, but because she was like, I'm taking this kid from Michael. He doesn't deserve it. And I
Well,
hate him.
yeah, actually, Nell never really showed a whole lot of love for
Mhm.
Wiley. She was always manipulating him in some way to help her with whatever she was doing. She always used him as some kind of pawn, actually.
All right, so two to one now. Nell in the lead when it comes to who's who's
Mhm.
who's who's more BS. Badass crazy nutso. Who's a bigger Looney Tune? As mayor now. All right, category 4. This one's going to be really difficult, and we can't have a tie. And this is the
Okay.
category of lies. Whose
The
lies were better?
lie.
Whose lies were deeper? Whose lies lasted longer? Whose lies were more damaging in the long run? So Nell came in with a lot of secrets. She didn't tell anybody about the connection she had to Carly's past. She came in pretended to be one thing and was something else entirely. She set up Sunny to look like they had slept together. She
Remember, she
weaseled.
was she was Carly's like assistant and was
Yeah,
very close to her.
like
And
a
Carly was actually good to her.
yeah, and there was
Carly was very
kind of
good to her.
a not a nanny because they didn't have a kid at the time. There was no
Well,
kid
she
to
was like
raise.
she didn't she was like her personal assistant
Yeah,
with,
some sort of
you know,
help. Yeah, just some sort of help.
with
And then
everything.
yeah, and then she also worked
Did a lot of
with
work stuff
Alexis, I
with her.
think, for a
A
little,
lot
or
of
Nina. She
a
worked with
lot of
Nina.
Metroport stuff with her.
Yeah. Uh,
Mhm.
Nell the Looney Tune. She blackmailed Brad into letting her babysit for Wiley. Ooh, see, very manipulative there when it came
Time.
to Nell. But you know that blackmail isn't lying. Blackmail is, hey, let me hang out with this kid, otherwise I'm going to tell everybody that you have my kid. You know, that's not really a lie.
Mm-hmm.
At least
It's a
not to
master
Brad.
manipulation.
You know, let's see, there was some sort of, I think she visited the kid and shouldn't have, but then was caught, you know, and so that wasn't that necessarily wasn't a lie. Esme, on the other hand, let's see, pretty much from the moment she met Spencer, nothing out of her mouth other than I was adopted and raised by my nanny. Essentially, she's the only person I have left. Seemed to
Well,
have been the only truth that he got.
well, that's true. And she didn't even pursue Spencer. Her dad was already telling her to go
Right.
befriend this person.
Exactly. You know, it was never even her idea. It was
Uh-uh.
Nell's idea to seek out Carly,
So she
not
was after revenge.
Esme's.
She came into town, even though the scenario was different. She came into town very similar to how Carly did. Carly
Mm-hmm.
came to town to punish her mother,
Mm.
punish Bobby,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and stole Tony and did all that crap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and so did Esme, but for Esme, it really wasn't all that personal. Not really.
It
It
wasn't
was
personal.
personal
I
to
mean,
her dad.
it was personal for her father, not
Mhm.
necessarily personal for her, until it
Yes.
became personal for her through Ace. And
Hmm.
through Spencer, through genuinely enjoying Spencer to a degree and being jealous over Trina's
Hmm.
encroachment on their life. Spencer, though, you know, didn't ever tell Trina that Esme existed, and so it's not like she had the best foot forward when it came to ingratiating herself into the friend group.
Yeah.
Not the defense of Esme, just a fact of things that happened on the show. Uh,
Hmm.
Esme lied from the very moment with purpose to manipulate people into position. She blew up a car and gave a bear and let Spencer take the fall for it.
Hmm. And she was so cruel with Kiki's work badge and
The
leaving
badge
it
and
by the
blowing up
car.
the car and the badge, and then there was the doll that had the creepy recordings in it that was left for
Yes.
Avery that
Yes.
Esme was behind as well.
Yes.
When it comes down to it, I think that Esme's going to win this category. I think that her lies were better. I think they were longer lasting, and I think ultimately they were far more damaging in the long run than Nell's. Nell's lies got her short advances.
Yeah.
Esme's was the long con.
Hmm.
Even there at
That's
the
true.
end, you know, if it wasn't for the
That's true.
fact, if it wasn't for the fact, like when it comes down to it, the reality of we need to wrap this up, came into play when it came to Esme and Spencer and Trina and all that stuff. You
Hmm.
know, we're coming to the end of a contract with Esme. We're coming up to a logical stopping point with Spencer. Let's do something here, and
Hmm.
let's quickly work up to it. But even in that 2 weeks where she had her memories, she was pretty good at fooling people until she slipped up and said Spence. And
Was.
even then, they didn't really totally believe her until she had fallen off the boat.
It's true. You know that time when she said Spence, everything was different about her that day. Of
Yeah,
course, that was the what perked his ear up.
right.
But everything was different about her. That her body language was different. The way she was just different. She was
Right.
old Esme.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you
Mm-hmm.
look. There's little physical nuances throughout that show that she's Esme,
Yeah. Yeah.
not just Spence.
Right. Hmm. Yeah. There was several things. Right? And if anybody else was paying attention, like Spencer pays attention, then they probably would have been able to pick up on them as well.
Mhm.
But it didn't take much for Laura to realize it too. You know, once Spencer laid it out, she's like, "Oh my."
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Let's see. Brad. Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right. Nell's lies split up Brad and Lucas.
It sure did.
You know, they were headed to a divorce at some point anyway. Those
Well,
crazy dumb kids.
yeah. I don't think
If it
Brad,
wasn't that thing, it'd
um,
be something else.
Brad, he has never shown us that he's capable of a long-term loving relationship.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Was it Ryan or Esme? Ryan or Heather who killed Esme's adoptive parents? We don't know. I think we suspect that it might have been Ryan, but that's never been confirmed.
Never has been confirmed. No.
Let's see. Blink says that Chloe Lanier is open to bringing Nell back.
Ooh,
That would be fun.
it would be fun.
Have her team up with some other crazy person on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm giving the point to Esme. I'm gonna give it to Esme's lies.
Okay.
I think she outlied Nell.
I think so too.
I haven't been dissuaded from that choice by the chat either. So, Ma, look at that. We got a tie. We got 2-2.
2-2.
Honestly, I didn't expect it to go this way. I truly, when I put these categories together, I thought Nell was going to sweep all but the parent category.
Hmm.
So, look at me talking myself into giving Esme a point.
Yeah.
All right, so 2-2. That means whoever wins this last category. And it is the most appropriate final category there can be. Because it is the circumstances leading up to, and of course, the act of the death of these two crazy ass ladies.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we had Nell, who was, God, she hadn't run off with Wiley. She had Wiley. Yeah, she had Wiley in a safe house, and then she had left the kid, and then had chased her through the woods, right?
I don't
Help me
remember.
out, chat. Did she still have Wiley at the time? If not, whatever. I just remember she was at a safe house, ran off. Carly and Jax went after her. I think
Mm-hmm.
Wiley was there. I think Michael and other people were at the house hanging out with the kid.
I think so.
The cops were there or something. Valerie was there, I think.
Mm-hmm.
While Jax and Carly ran off.
Mm-hmm.
Nell trying to hide,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get away. Doesn't notice the enormous cliff in front of her.
Yep.
Tipple topple.
Yep.
And Carly hesitates for a mere moment.
And she hanging on by her fingernails.
Hanging on, and Carly's like, do I help her or not? I should help her. But she did take that 3 seconds to say, okay, I'm going to go help her. But by the time she got there, Nell had lost her grip.
Yeah, she had kind of like reached out her hand, pulled her hand back, and then reached out her hand.
Yes.
And Nell had lost her grip.
And Nell had lost her grip just as no, I was going to save her. I was going to save her. Believe me, I was going to save her. And then Jax was like, you can't even tell the cops you were here. That would be dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And now, and the rest is history. And now Nina's never been able to forgive her.
But the truth is, though, Carly hesitated. Yes, she hesitated for a moment.
Just a moment, not long, not 5 seconds, not a minute.
Not even that long.
But long enough for her to not get there in time.
But at the same time, though, this is Nell we're talking about. Carly was not sure that she wasn't going to grab her and pull her down with her.
It's true. It's true. She didn't she didn't trust her at all. Oh, goodness gracious. Wiley was at Sunny's cabin. Yeah, Wiley was in a car and then she pretended the baby was dead. That's what she did. That's what happened. They were in the car. They had the baby. There was a cabin. Yes, the same one that Trina got drugged in. Oh, well, they only have one cabin set, you guys.
Only one.
Yeah, she had the baby. Yeah, I think so. Okay, because yeah. We all saw the good son. Nell had to go. It's like the good son. I'm gonna pick Elijah Wood over you, Macaulay. Hesitated for a split second. Yeah, so those were the circumstances of Nell death. She was in the middle of kidnapping. She was trying to get away with it. She eventually fell off of a cliff, as one does. Yeah, we just fall off cliffs here. And in the year 2021 or whenever it happened.
But they never did find the body.
Well, didn't they find her on the Pennsylvania side of the river or something?
No.
No? Oh, they couldn't find her because she fell on the Pennsylvania side of the river.
Yeah, she didn't find her.
Yeah, that's what it was. Esme, on the other hand, in the middle of an act of crime, she had tied up Trina. She had some sort of drug that was going to make Spencer do some sort of Helena drug, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That would make you do as my bidding. She was going to take these two lovebirds back to Port Charles to be like, or at least take them to Laura in some way and be like, tell me where my kid is or they're gonna die.
Yep.
Was her ultimate plan.
That was
Trina,
her
of
plan.
course, was a super heroine. Reminded me, just classic, just superheroes.
But
The
I
cape and
wanted
superpowers.
but I never thought I didn't Esme's a bad person, yes, but man, her one redeeming quality was she was a good mother. I didn't think she deserved to have her child taken away from her.
No,
I
I mean
don't think
I
it
agree
was
with the show.
taken off with it.
I think the show has gone to lengths to tell everybody that the reason why Esme went as far as she did is because they took Ace, and if they didn't take Ace, she wouldn't have done that. And I agree with the show.
It's like doing that to her was the key that made her lean into being Ryan's daughter on her own accord
Mm,
without being prompted to do anything. She
yeah.
could think of all that crazy crap herself.
Well, she infiltrates the not the haunted star. She knocks out the captain. She doesn't kill the captain. She just knocks him out.
Yeah.
So that's something. You know, it's not like she was
Well,
like
I think
all
she
bets
was
are off.
like,
Like,
well, I don't want to kill him. I need him to still drive this damn
you know,
thing.
something. I might still need him. But you know, not just so crazy that she's just killing everybody that walks across her. You know,
Nell would have slit his throat
Nell would have it and then
and
dumped the
kicked him
body
in
and
the
been like,
water.
"Oh, what do you mean, Captain? It hasn't been a captain here. You know, I'm the captain now."
You know, I thought of something today, man. I thought of something. Okay. Today I was thinking about Nina. Nina having more children.
Mm-hmm.
Not getting children now, like she's had other children. You remember how crazy her mother was.
Yeah.
Madeline was nuts.
Yeah.
Actually, when it comes to crazy characters, Madeline probably could beat these other two young ladies on
Yeah,
some
I
stuff.
just don't know enough about Madeline to have included
No,
her in
we
the
don't
chat.
know too much about her other than, she purposely put her daughter in a coma and gave away her babies.
That's not something that Heather does or Janet. They cared about their
No,
babies.
but they could write this if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
That Madeline kind of used her body as a baby boat
Mm.
as she laid there for 20 years.
Gross.
And perhaps
She
did
is the
some
mother of
kind of
more
like,
children. That's how she's Sasha's mom too.
yes,
Gosh,
that
I
her
don't know.
mom,
So
well,
they did that. They did this. Here's why they can't do that. Uh, consent, which Nina had none.
no,
And
I'm not talking about her getting pregnant the old fashioned
I
way.
understand, but still not non-consensual baby factoring. I don't know. I think that
Well,
I
I
guess
thought
without
about that too.
I
I
guess
thought
without the
about that
I
too.
don't know if it's different without the act. You know, chat, let us know. If without the act, if you were just to artificially inseminate somebody in a coma without their consent, where on the sliding scale of morality does that lie?
Because not even like not even artificially inseminate, like do
Oh, just like put
implants.
embryos.
Yeah, over and over and
Yeah,
over, and like
okay. Hmm.
kept her in 20 years. Maybe she had like 3 or 4 pregnancies.
Well, this folks is how Sasha winds up being Nina's daughter. So you know that's worth exploring.
Because they've already established, even though the character is dead, Madeline was really took the cake for terrible mother.
So basically, Madeline would take all 5 points if she was a part of this match that we're having right now between
Yeah.
Nell and Esme.
Yeah.
Well, that's Nell's grandmother, everybody. So maybe that should have earned her a point in the whole genetic lottery.
Willow's grandmother too.
Oh my, yeah, I'm waiting for it, Ma. I'm waiting for the other side of Willow to find out. Did Silas know? I don't know if Silas. No, I don't think Silas knew that he had kids because Nina didn't know. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Oh yes, Madeline sold Nina's eggs. So there you go. Hey, you're my daughter. You're my daughter. Anyway, we got to figure it out. Who won the death when it comes to just wacky or crazier circumstances? I would like to give the point to Nell because Nell really wanted to kill everybody around her and would have. She attacked Willow. She attacked BLQ. She ran off with this kid. If it wasn't for the pressure that
She
was
left Michael to die in the
she,
car.
yeah, I mean that was months before, but she did do that. When it came to like she left because of the pressure that was on the cabin, and who knows, she might have been trying to circle around to shove Carly off of this cliff for all you know. Esme wasn't as murderous, and then Melissa said in the chat, this is likely true, that Esme was pretty clear about not intending to kill Trina because she was a big part of the plan as well. To
Yes.
get Laura to do something, to get Spencer to do something, and she wouldn't be able to do that if Trina was dead. So when it comes down to it, I think Nell's going to get the crazy point because she was on a rampage when she died, and Esme was on
Was
a focused mission.
true. It's true.
Chat, this is the last point to decide. Please let me know who gets the point when it comes to the crazier death, the crazier circumstances of their death, Nell or Esme. Because we got to decide. We got to decide for forever. We have to. This is the reference that everybody's going to make on social media for the rest of time as to who wins the scale of crazy, Nell or Esme.
I have to say Nell is the crazier one. I do.
I would have to say Nell is the crazier one too, but I'm really curious to know who
And
the
the more
chat thinks gets this
dangerous,
final point.
actually.
More
And the more
ultimately more dangerous. I think Nell is more dangerous to a wider spectrum of people. Esme was very dangerous to a narrow spectrum of people. And even then, not all that dangerous. She just wanted her kid back. I know it sounds like I'm forgiving her, but maybe I am a little bit. Maybe I am. She really didn't take it as far as Nell did.
No. But her reign of terror wasn't as long. I think Nell,
Nell
Nell
had more time.
had more time.
Yeah.
Had more time. And Nell had a couple of, well, Esme did too, but Nell had a time where she was gone and then came back.
Yeah.
There was a little space in there. But Nell was on there for a while being crazy.
She was on there being nice and on there being crazy. She definitely had a longer downward spiral than what we got with Esme.
A much longer arc. Bless you.
Thank you. Well, and it looks as though the chat is also in agreement. Janelle Benson deserves the point. Janelle Benson is
Head crazy.
the crazy one, the winner. She gets out of 3 out of 2, 3 to 2 is what the final score is in favor of Nell. Nell wins 3 categories. She's the crazier mother. She had the crazier attempted murders and actual murders. And she had the craziest wackadoodle circumstances surrounding and during her death. While Esme walks away with only 2 points in the category, she had the crazier parents and she had the better lies.
Yeah. What made her demise being a little more I don't know, the fact that Spencer went with her, went over the edge with her.
Yeah. Just means that they're
water.
okay on a deserted island together, fighting and getting over their issues. Come back with another baby. Like Blue Lagoon, that movie. Oh, goodness. Honestly, Blink, I don't...
Remember that movie?
Yeah, so old too. Blink wants to know if Ron Cavalardi was writing for GH during the time of Nell, and I don't know. I don't know if he was writing. I know he's writing for days now, and I don't know how long that's been going on. I don't have an answer to your question.
Write for them. He was head writer for GH for a long time.
He was. I don't really know when the switch was made, so I couldn't tell you. Melissa says Nell is Nina. I don't understand what that means because Nell is way crazier than Nina is. Nina is just difficult to make adult choices. Cheryl has dropped a bonus question in the chat, and I would like everybody to answer it right now. Which character would you want to return first, Esme or Nell? Let us know in the chat as we go through the final business here on this podcast, because that's it. I'm out of topics. And we've been doing this a long time. This has been a successful late night tonight. What'd you say? What? Say that again. It didn't catch you.
Nell. I want Nell to come back.
You want Nell to come back?
Yeah.
Bring Esme back.
I prefer Nell to come back first. Actually, I want both of them to come back.
I mean, it would be nice to have, but what if they both came back at the same time?
But I think I'd like to see Nell come back first.
Blink says bring back Nell. Annette says Nell. Hello, Annette. Thanks for contributing to the chat. Esme, Nell, Esme. Oh, it's pretty even, Ma. It's pretty even. Good question, Cheryl. Cheryl says Esme. Okay. That's it.
I like all that.
Well, thanks for staying up past your bedtime with us, Melissa. We're gonna let you go now. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna be this is gonna be it. I gotta come up with some sort of fun sign off for this, but until in the meantime, while I come up with some sort of fun sign off, I'm just gonna say like the video if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the channel if you had a great time with us trying to figure out this whole Nell and Esme situation. I did. We'll be back on Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time for Days for Dummies. We're going to cover the week of days of our lives and also learn about the stuff we don't know about. With
Uh-huh.
our third co-host Angela, who's been watching the show for decades and knows everything there is to know about Days of Our Lives. And then we'll be back again on Sunday morning, again that same day at 11 a.m. for the 10th Floor podcast, which will cover the week of General Hospital. And what a week it's been!
It has been. Been
Betrayals,
watching
the
it.
Pine Barrens.
Oh, they went out to the Pine
I
Barrens, didn't they?
know.
Ooh.
So
And there's some bones out there.
there's a many piles of bones.
Pine Barrens, boy, they could find some bones out there.
So, be back for then. Catch me on Suds in the Squared Circle tomorrow. We'll talk some wrestling, talk a little Bret Hart, talk about whatever it is that comes up with Vinny.
What time are you doing that, Matt?
It starts at I want to say 4 o'clock Pacific time is when that starts, and I believe we're going to be on the Suds in the Squared Circle YouTube channel
At 4 o'clock.
at 4 o'clock, and then James Led Jr. is
Okay.
having some sort of like Zoom thing. I think he's having on Friday. I think it is that I might pop into because he was curious about a little debate that happened in his chat room on one of his shows that I was involved in the other day. So stay tuned to our Twitter at 10th Floor GH for all of the updates as to what might be going on. And then I'll figure out how to include Mom on some stuff too. That way she's not just lonely while I'm all over the internet.
I want you to be all over the internet.
Yeah, I want you to be all over the internet too. People like you. Follow our link tree. Cheryl has dropped a thing there. Google 10th Floor. Click on all the links. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Find our Facebook channel as well. You can do all that. Congratulations, Nell Benson. You're the craziest of the two that we've measured. Thank you for Janet from Another Planet for giving us great memories. Heather Weber for still being there to entertain us to this day. We couldn't have done it without you.
I love those veteran crazies.
Jimmy Kimmel always says, I apologize to Matt Damon. We didn't have time for you. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to apologize to James Patrick Stewart. We just didn't have time for you this week. Hopefully we can get you next week here on
There you
late
go.
night tonight. And maybe we'll probably catch you next Thursday. Pay attention. We'll see what topics we come up with. This was a good time. So that's it. I've been Matt.
I've been Cat.
We'll catch you next time right here